Pros and cons of living the farm lifestyle out in the country, out in the sunshine, growing food organically versus city lifestyle. Wow, it's so different. Welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. I'm out on our one of our farm properties, taking a walk, quick stroll through. Sun's out, breakfast break. In the morning, we were up on the other property, weeding and working on our orchard, 400 tree fruit orchard. I was taking our sheep for a walk and kind of stroll through our more of the village farm down here. But yeah, it's really interesting, the difference in lifestyle between working and living on a farm versus living in the city. It's like so different, but there's pros and cons to each. And I grew up in the city. You may have seen my video, pros and cons of living in Seattle. And it wasn't until maybe 4 years ago I started living in lower population areas and started getting into farming. And now I've spent the last year living on a farm and working on the farm, and enough to see the kind of two lifestyles and talk about them a little bit. So, I mean, there's pros and cons. One's not for everyone, but if you wanted to know, because a lot of people aren't doing the farm lifestyle anymore, and it's a really good lifestyle that's been around since the beginning of time. So, pros of farm lifestyle. Let's start with the pros and then the cons. Pros of farm lifestyle. Yo, it's so nice outside. It's really healthy. I don't know that there's, and you're close to the good food. I don't know that there's a healthier lifestyle. I don't believe necessarily there is. I don't know there's a healthier way to live or a job that's more conducive to being healthy, or especially if you're doing things organic and mid-scale, because there's so much walking, there's so much lifting and carrying, there's so much strong labor. People say it's bad for your back and knees and all this if you have bad form, but it's good for your knees and back. It's good for your body to be physical and to work. So that's the pro. It's like, yo, I feel great, right? I know that I'm healthy. I don't really work out anymore because of the physical nature of the farm. You know, I stretch and I swim in the ocean and so on. So to me, that's the biggest pro. Part of that is the food. Like, you're gonna have access to be close to really good food, and you can trust the food. You know where the food's from. You know, as opposed to in the city, the lifestyle, you may be stuck inside most of the time, or stuck sitting still, and you do have to exercise, and there's only so much you can make up. And you don't know where your food's coming from, right? You don't know who grew it. You don't know how it was treated, right? So, city lifestyle, you can be healthy, but it's a different kind of health, like this athletic health, which is real, but I think you get a more natural health living out and working on the farm. So those, pro to the farm lifestyle, con to the city lifestyle. I'll also say that farming feels more normal. The farm lifestyle feels surprisingly normal, even if you're not coming from here. The reason being just that our ancestors have been doing it for so long that there's something kind of in our blood, or there's something in our DNA, something in our memory that is like, okay, this makes sense, right? So it's very pleasing lifestyle. It's nice. Another thing about this is sometimes true, sometimes not true, but the farm lifestyle often has low commute. Like, I live on the farm, we live on the farm. If you live on the farm, we drive like 2 miles to our other property. We're lucky on that. If you do it right, you're not going to be stuck in traffic. That's huge. I've lived and worked in cities, and a big component is timing around the traffic. That's a big deal in Seattle. And I don't want to spend my time in traffic, right? I want to spend my time working and applying, doing things outside, right? Con, you're stuck in traffic. Another pro of farm lifestyle is just being around animals and working with animals. We have sheep, which I really like. We have pigs, we have chickens, we have farm dogs, we have farm cats for catching rodents. So, you have pets in the city. Pets are great, but it's also really cool to have pets that are also like, have practical purpose and are for more than affection and comfort as well, and are producing manure or later going to produce meat. So I think that's pretty cool. And those to me are a lot of the main pros. And another pro of farm lifestyle is like, it's definitely complicated, all the planning and everything, and the distributing and the selling. But the labor itself, a lot of the time, is pretty mundane. So a con would be that it's boring and can cause you to ruminate and so on. A pro is that it lets you daydream and plan and strategize as you work. The farm labor itself allows you to have mental space left over. Okay. Pro of the farm lifestyle is the possibility of depth of relationships. Usually in the city, you don't live with and work with and eat with your coworkers who are also your housemates, who are also, your playmates. Usually that's all segmented. It's all disparate. It's all separated. So the farm lifestyle, it's common to, you live on the land together, you work together, you play together. That's the majority of your social circle. And there's pros and cons to that. A pro being it allows you more depth, you're spending more time, you have richer relationships. Con being that you can't get away from anyone, so you can't burn any bridges. The city, you're allowed more anonymity. You can burn bridges, right? You can, create awkward situations and just walk away from them forever. Farm lifestyle, you cannot do that. So it means you have to learn how to resolve this stuff. And also, it's probably to your benefit to be a little bit more reserved. That's kind of why you have more, conservative culture is the farm. More liberal culture is the city, because it's an anonymity thing. And that's where a lot of the pro and the con comes from the farm lifestyle socially. In the city, it can be very easy to just meet new people, and have some anonymity, right? And the farm, it's not necessarily that easy to meet new people. You can leave, but the farm is really consuming to your social life, and things off the farm seem like not as real or not as important, or you have to travel into town to do it, and that takes time and money. There's things we have to do on the weekend as well. There's a pro and con to that. So socially, the farm lifestyle can be like really bubbled and small, and you can feel stuck, like the right people aren't in your life, but you can't really access them very frequently. Or there's pros and cons to that. Like, okay, I got more depth, but also it's more stagnant. You're more stuck with the people around you. So I would say that's like almost the biggest contrast from the city where you have generally shallower relationships, not shallow based on like looks, but shallow in terms of the amount of time and overlap you have with people. But it's possible to meet a bunch of people at events and so on. But pros and cons to that. I think if you're not able to do it right, the farm lifestyle, another con is like, especially farm labor, it doesn't pay well. It's not going to pay well. That's not the reason to do it, right? But it doesn't mean it's not worth doing. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to make money in the city either, but there's probably more possibility. It also doesn't mean that you can't make money farming, but probably not as the labor. You're going to make the money owning an operation. You still may not, or consulting or selling equipment, something like that, right? Yeah, but you do it wrong, farming, it's boring, it's lonely, you feel stuck at times. You do it right, then it's the best, healthiest lifestyle, it's the most fun, you have the deepest, most enriching relationships, and it's not over time. It may be up to you. It's a bit, it can be a bit random, or take some trial and error to get there from the worst case to the best case. But I think that it's worth exploring, and something that it's a really nice lifestyle. Me personally, despite those negatives, despite those cons, it still wins. And in the year that I've been really living on the land, and I can't see myself moving back to the city, and I want to live on ag land basically, and continue to do this. So either in a different situation or this situation, and rather than being like, well, those cons suck, in the city it'd be like, oh, actually, my camera's about to die. So much love. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Peace out. Appreciate you. Thank you. Love you.